Sleepovers just aren't what they used to be. A house full of screens, basically no hiccups. You guys have no idea how good you've got it.
Get internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract.
Back in my day, it was scary stories and flashlights.
We don't get scared.
Oh, really? Mom can see your search history. That's what I thought.
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity.
Yeah, I'm closer with Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet, the fastest internet with multi-gig speeds to the most homes. All right, we start our virtual media day in the Suburban White Conference with Belton coach Todd Vaughn. And coach, another solid season for you guys. I know you graduated a good group and you got some starters to replace. But what do you like about this group that's stepping in? Some of the seniors, some of the underclassmen that are going to be taking those spots.
Well, we do have some seniors that'll be playing varsity football for the first time that I'm really excited and happy for, because they've embraced the process that we're always talking about. Go through the process, and they've done a good job in the weight room preparing themselves. So I'm happy for those kids, and I think they're going to do just fine. We've got a good group of sophomores that we think are going to see some varsity time. Some of them will start. Someone will just, play occasionally, but they're a talented group of kids. And so, we've got a good mix, honestly. If you look at our, we're not senior dominated or junior or sophomore dominated. It's really all three classes put together. And I'm excited to see our kids play.
That's kind of, you get those big classes that come through, and then, those seniors, when they get to be seniors, I know coaches like that. You get that senior heavy team that's got a lot of experience, but this is kind of it makes you feel good for several reasons, knowing that, hey, just when this senior class goes, we know we've got some good classes. When you got the classes lined up, that's kind of the ideal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice because we got enough seniors. We have 20 seniors, and we have enough of them that are going to contribute, and we'll have some seniors been playing varsity football for 2-3 years now, but we'll also have some that are playing for the first time. And so we have that leadership and some experience there. But it's good to know that, hey, we've got several juniors and sophomores who are contributing that we can build on in the future. And it's kind of fun to watch. Our sophomore class is talented, and they're going to be a great class to watch. So it's as a coach, it's comforting to know that your sophomore class is pretty good.
I think the biggest smiles come from when those coaches have that really good sophomore class, because they know what's coming.
And a few years ago when we really struggled, and I think it was 2019 or the years all run together, we had a really good sophomore class, but we had 9 seniors.
Yeah.
So when you have a really good sophomore class and 9 seniors, that's a problem. But when you have a senior class who can, and then a sophomore class and a junior class who complements those seniors, then you sleep a little bit better at night. And I think that's what we have for this year.
What do you like about your offense?
I like the potential, to be honest with you. We'll be playing a sophomore quarterback in Cooper Strum, who is a talented kid, really competitive kid that we're really, really excited about his future. And then we've got Javon Minor at running back. He's been playing varsity football since his sophomore year, and
this is about his 6th year, isn't it?
Yeah. And maybe next year could be a 7th. I don't know if we can figure out how to do that, but and then we've got some good skill kids around him. And then we've moved some kids offensively and defensive line wise. And I feel good about where we're at. They just got to gel together and play together. But I think there's enough talent there for us to be successful. We just have to keep learning and keep working. Seems like we're getting better every day. And there's a lot of potential there offensively. So I'm excited about it.
Defensively, is there any position group that's really taken a big step forward for you this summer?
Well, honestly, I think where we needed to make the biggest strides were defensive line wise from last year. And we moved a couple offensive linemen over just to play defensive line. And I think that's going to help us as far as our interior defensive line goes. And then we're going to have, honestly, several defensive ends. We're just going to play, just kind of roll them in and out. I wouldn't say we have that really dominant kid, but we have some really solid kids, and we just keep them fresh. Our linebacker group is we've got Aiden Walton's coming back. He's an excellent Mike linebacker. He would have been an all conference kid last year, but he broke his wrist, so he's out for 6 weeks. But I mean, he's 6'1.5", 6'2", 200-pound kid, great vision. And then we've got a kid who couldn't play last year that's playing this year at free safety, and he's a really good football player. We got a couple corners that have experience, one starter. So, honestly, it's kind of been all of them, to be honest with you. The progress has been there, and Cameron Morris is back from last year, and he'll play some outside linebacker, inside linebacker for us. So, again, that's a pretty solid group. There's a learning curve there with some of our younger kids that hopefully they learn well, and but the effort's been great, and we're getting better every day, and I think there's some potential there also.
Well, it should be a great season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
All right, thank you. Appreciate what you do.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet, now with up to 5 to 10 times faster upload speeds. Here we are in our virtual media day, and we're joined by Green Valley coach David Alley. And Coach, I tell you, you guys had another good year last year. You played Fort Osage 17 times over the last 3 years, and you open up with them again this year.
Yeah.
But you bring a lot of good players back on this from the team last year, and you've had really good teams in Green Valley the last few years. Do you feel like this is just a continuation of what you guys have done the last few years, and next man up and let's go and
well, that's when you start getting going, and then the kids start buying in, and which we've had great buying here, for a few years, and the kids just look at the older kids, look at their success, they want to be part of it, and they're working that much harder because they know when it's their turn, they got to turn it up as well. So these guys have been working really, really hard. They've been, like you said, part of some successful teams the last few years. So, they've had people show them the right way. And, and inevitably you always have things that if you don't win that big one, you got some things you can do better. And so those teams continue to build on and seeing things that you can improve on, things that you can continue to do. And we really feel good. I think we have 25 seniors, 27 seniors. And so we got a great older group that have been around, that are leading us, and had some younger guys they'll step in and play this year too, that got a lot of experience for us last year, that have taken some leadership roles as well. So you kind of hit it when you've learned from those past teams, and keeping that success going. It's the next man up philosophy.
Well, I mean, you guys kind of went through it. I mean, it was getting to district finals, not getting through that level, getting to district finals, not getting through that level. Well, you've broken through that level. Now you're at the quarterfinals.
We're banging our head against the wall in the quarterfinals for 4 years, right? Yeah.
So you're kind of looking for that. What do you like about your offense this year?
Well, one is experience. We have 9 of 11 starters back. We lose an offensive lineman that we feel we have a couple kids that can replace or move around a couple kids that started last year to maybe a different offensive line position, and bring in a youngster that doesn't have as much experience but is a really good player to solidify that offensive line. And we've had the luck of some really good quarterbacks coming through the last few years, or actually since I've been at Green Valley, we've been blessed with great quarterbacks, and we had a great one graduate last year with Caleb Larson. And so this year we have a move in that is doing a great job for us, and brings a lot of experience back, not necessarily Green Valley experience, but can bring that experience back, and that's that's what you know to continue your success. You got to have some experience, and offensively, you ask what we like about it. We like that a lot of those guys have been under fire, have had that success, have had that taste, and are hungry to break down that wall, or hungry to prove it's their turn, hungry to keep building on what has been before them.
Defensively, how's that group progressing?
Well, very similar to, we lose a few more on the defensive side. I think we return 7 starters, 8 starters if you count one of the guys that went 2 ways. Styles Blackman, a big offensive defensive lineman for us, played defensive line for us with a starter, but he was so important on offense, we didn't play him on defense as much. So I can consider him a soft starter. So you got like 8 guys coming back defensively. We graduated 2 really good defensive ends, graduated really good safety. And we have to try to replace some, but the defensive line, we've been sitting there looking at that, where we lost really 2 great players. KMZU defensive player of the year. We lost a kid, the other defensive end, Rylan Alcantar, is going to Pitt State, so replacing Jake Allen and Rylan Alcantar. I tell you, the guys that are coming in are doing a great job too. They don't have all the accolades, they don't have all the name or the offers, but I'm telling you, they're getting after it. So that group's good. Our linebacker core, we're going to have our leader in that linebacker core, Brody Baker's back. And then we got some young guys that some had some experience. We may end up playing some sophomores there too that have been working really hard this summer, have gotten a lot of experience with the summer program we've been able to complete the past couple months. And we think our linebacker core, despite their youth, is going to make an impact for us. And then defensively, we lost that safety, Keegan Hart, great leader in that secondary, all-state player. But his buddy Gabe Stormont, who was almost statistically as good as Keegan last year, is back. He's going to lead that group. We have a Division I corner of Braylon Harden that has improved, and a couple other guys that are not necessarily tested there yet, but have passed all the challenges we've put up to them this summer, and it continue to get better. So, not as much experience there, but the great thing about our defense, what I like about it, besides got some guys back who return, they don't care who gets the credit. They don't care who's running the ball or who's throwing the ball. They get after you. And our coaching staff does a great job with them. They believe in the scheme. They get after it, and we have to sometimes hold them back a little bit, hold them trained against each other, because they do want to attack that football and attack the guys in front of them. And I'm just excited to see what they can do on a Friday night during the actual season.
You guys have been blessed with really good specialists as well, kickers and punters. How's that side of the ball for you?
Well, graduating one that there was an all-state kicker, Austin Smith. He's gonna be hard to replace. But his backup, who luckily last year we did have some success and were able to kick. Ben Drinkwater, he'll be a senior this year. He got some playing time last year for us. He looks to probably be the kicker, so he's been working hard all summer. He was a soccer player, but he decided just to go all football, which helps from a practice standpoint, and will help his leg throughout the season. That it won't have as much wear and tear as Austin's had. So maybe that will continue to be able to allow him to continue to grow and even get better throughout the year. But he's done a great job for us. And then I tell this guy every day, we have a sophomore kid, Colton Kleiman, that I believe he got the sophomore punter of the camp up at Iowa State. But that shows you how good he is. Hit the roof at Iowa State in their North facility. He's got a boot. I mean, he can kick, and the problem is he's a punter. And I tell him every day, "Hey man, I hope you don't get a chance to punt all year. As good as you are, this sounds bad, but I really don't want to feature our punter. We would like to score some points, not use you as good as you are playing right now." So, but we feel, and as I think we'd be more explosive return wise too. Got a few kids back there that can catch it, and hopefully can find those seams and get upfield.
Well, Coach, should be a fantastic season. Should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
Well, thanks. I appreciate you. One shout out to I'm sorry hogging some time here, but it's the 100-year anniversary for football at Green Valley High School.
Ah,
So kind of a special year, that century strong attitude. You mentioned what you like about the kids. They're buying into that too. We always encourage our alumni to come back and meet with the kids, and we call it the football family, and have them come
mhm.
back and speak and stuff. Well, doing even more stuff this year, not only with most recent graduates, or kids just played with, or that are low, but extending that past to even earlier teams. So kind of a special time, and hopefully as hard as these kids are working, and what we got coming back, we're hoping for a special year. Got a rough schedule, got great competition on that schedule, especially early, playing a great conference, and in the state of Missouri, and especially Kansas City football. It's tough no matter what class you're in here on this side of the state. And if you get out this side of the state, you can probably make some noise. So
No doubt about that. The first ever high school football game I attended was at Green Valley High School when I was 4 or 5. My mother is originally from Blue Springs and my father's from Raytown, and I was born in Hawaii, and we moved back from Hawaii after I was born, and we bought the first house they ever bought was in Green Valley, and my dad took us to high school football games and high school basketball games there. So yes, the old football field, that was the first place I ever watched high school football.
that's where McDonald's was, right?
Yep,
Right
yep,
across from
yeah.
yeah.
So that holds that, and the old gym, which are all gone, holds a special
Right.
place in my heart. In fact, the first thing I ever covered by myself for the Examiner was basketball in the old gym. So I kind of started both my things there in Green Valley. So hats off to Green Valley for 100 years of football. It should be a great season, and we will probably do something about that at some point during the year. And enjoy always talking with you, and have a great season.
Hey, thanks for all you do for the city and for the state of football here, and you have a great season too.
Deion Clissa with Preps KC. We're doing our virtual media day with Suburban White Conference. We're here in the Preps KC studio powered by Xfinity Internet. Count on a reliable connection for all your devices, even when everyone's online. And joining us now from Platte County, Coach Bill Oots. And Coach, you guys had a really good run there for several years, state championship games. You got young last year. You're still a little young this year. I know it's probably you got used to very deep playoff runs, but this young group, what kind of steps have they taken in the offseason to kind of get back to that level?
Well, they've had a nice off season, a really nice off season, mainly just the physical growth. We got a good off season of weight room, and just some experience with them, and all that stuff helps. So, and going into last year, we kind of knew that we were in a situation where this year was coming, where a lot of these young kids are going to have to play a lot. So, we strategically put them in situations to where they could kind of experience some varsity time, and put them in at least being around some varsity kids and kind of getting a taste for it. So, trying to shorten that learning curve, if you will. But they've done a nice job. They've grown into, they're growing into their bodies a little bit, and getting their athleticism underneath them, and doing a great job with it. And some of our juniors too, that, that's our sophomore class. Our junior class is kind of in the same boat. So they're kind of growing in together. Some of that inexperience, we hope, is going to come to fruition to be able to make a nice run and get us back where we expect to be.
Well, you don't have a lot of people back on offense. How's that group coming together? Is there a lot of competition there for those spots, or guys really battling?
Well, and part of the problem of having a smaller senior class is it takes away your depth. So, your depth is the part that is actually competing. So when they compete and get a job, there's nobody out really to be behind them. So, that's one of our biggest issues is the youth is learning, but there's not a whole lot to push them because the depth's not there. So for the first time in a lot of years, we're seeing some kids that we don't like to have kids going both ways on offense and defense, but we're going to have a few kids that at least get a little bit of time, on both sides, just to be able to create some depth and kind of piece it together. So, but I will say that the grit that they have, the whole team is a very the whole team is coming together nicely, very close, very willing to play for each other and doing what they need to do as a team. The team aspect and that culture is really starting to come together, which I like to see.
Defensively, what do you like?
Well, again, we've got some kids that are some playmaker kids, that are just hard nosed, fast playing and always kind of around the ball type kids. We're not, this massive team that's just going to put up a brick wall and say you can't, we're going to stonewall you by any means. We're going to have to be a team that flies around and tries to make things happen. And again, that energy and that that attitude that they're bringing, that they're showing at this point. So, there's some kids obviously that we need to replace there that made some big plays for us last year that we need to replace. But at the same time, we've got some nice kids that are doing some things and continuing that defensive mentality that we've done a really good job of. I feel in the last, you talk about those playoff runs and different things. We were known a lot for having a solid offense, but our defense was the really good teams had a really good defense with it, and so that mentality is still there.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and we appreciate you taking time with us.
I appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to get the season started.
Dion Clissa with Preps KC here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet. Count on a reliable connection for all your devices, even when everyone's online. As we move through our virtual media day for the Suburban White Conference, we're joined by Raytown coach Mike Hedrick. And Coach, another solid season for you guys last year, and it's your second year as the head coach, but you've been on staff for a while, so that those kind of transition things that a lot of guys went through weren't really there for you. How has your offseason been, and how excited are you about the upcoming season?
I think our kids done a great job in the offseason. They've really taken some ownership. A bunch of our kids graduated, had a great group last year, like you said, for the last couple of years. And the young kids that are coming up to be seniors and know they're going to play did a great job of taking the time from the summer and embracing that and trying to get ready.
Offensively, is there a position group or a couple players or just that side of the ball that's really taking some big steps forward?
We're so young on all of them. We've obviously got one receiver back with Jordan Robinson. He's back as one of our starter kids. And then Trevon Johnson, those two kids are receiver wise, a little bit of running back action, but everybody else is pretty much new. We've got a couple kids that are either moved or, attending school somewhere else or graduated. And so our front five, we got a whole new kids, whole new quarterback situation. So it's going to be fun with those kids. They're going to get to see what Friday nights are like. So it's going to be fun.
How've they been this summer? Sometimes you talk to a coach, he's replacing 5 offensive linemen and a quarterback, and he's pulling his hair out. Sometimes is it fun to see that group come together?
Yeah, I mean, nobody dislikes their job when you like who you work with. So the fact like our children makes it much easier. That doesn't make them any better, but it does make it better to work with them. And we've done a great job, and the kids have done a great job of coming and showing up and being in the weight room and taking care of each other. And the kids that do know what's going on, helping them. So, we're still going through the first week here and switching kids back and forth on both sides of the ball, trying to give them some emphasis what they don't feel comfortable doing. And they're doing a great job of understanding, hey, I need to work on this, and we're doing that. So we're trying to small group instruction that thing and then go back to the big whole part. And it's just, coaches better be good teachers, and that's what we're trying to do.
Defensively, what stands out to you?
I think obviously what we hang our hat on a bunch is just arriving to the ball in a bad mood. We can run and chase. The fact that we got to get lined up, we're going to start off with Smithville, who's been a great team. I don't know if they've lost 1 or 2 or 3 games in the last 3 years. So they either win it or they get beat at the end. So they don't lose very often. But we better know what we're doing. And we got to be able to run and chase and then get there in a bad mood. So our kids have done a great job of that. Great job of communication across when we get motions and things like that. That's what we have to do when you're young, is over communicate things and make everybody feel better. Because when you're out there and you feel a little uncomfortable, you don't play very fast. So we need.
Well, tell me this, community-wise, I know Raytown football has seen a renaissance over the last 5 to 7 years. That's got to make you feel good that whole community is behind you guys.
Oh yeah, and then that's the thing, being fortunate enough with Coach Minnick coming in and turning things around. I was fortunate enough to work with him. I've been here, this is my 4th year, and I got to work with Coach Minnick. And obviously he doesn't know what he's doing because he went up there to Kearney and they just had a horrible year and lost one. Obviously, I was fortunate that I got to follow him. But yeah, the kids are great. The parents do a great job. It's fun to do. It really is fun. We're having a good time every day, and it's fun when you win. But it's also nice to have good kids. And if you can do both those things, that makes the job very nice.
Well, Coach, it should be a fantastic season. Good luck, and I appreciate you taking time with us.
Yeah, I appreciate your coverage. Thank you.
Dion Clisso with Preps KC. We're here in the Preps KC studio, powered by Xfinity Internet, the fastest internet with multi-gig speeds to the most homes. Here we are now in the Suburban White Virtual Media Day, and joined by Michael Rose-Ivy from William Chrisman. And Coach, first year last year, and I know all first-year coaches, there's some ups, there's some downs, there's some things you really enjoyed, and then there's some things you're like, man, I wish we did differently. Overall, though, how enjoyable was it, and how excited are you about now your second year, full off season, everything kind of going, getting ready for this year?
A lot of learning lessons. I think the biggest thing was for me this offseason was not really a lot of X and O stuff. A lot more culture, organizational type of things. I really looked at, and I'm a person not afraid to make mistakes. So it's an opportunity to look back, reflect, say, hey, if they did this a little bit better, emphasize this a little bit more. Maybe this wasn't as important as we actually thought it would be. So it's just good too to be one more year into the culture of Chrisman and understand the kids more, the community more, and really kind of build around that. So, it's been great for us as a staff, for our players as well. I think it's a little bit better understanding what we're asking them to do, and just hoping the results, show themselves in the fall. But it's been a lot of progress, just in the hallways for a lot of kids, making those type of changes that, it hopefully affects the game of football for us, but it's going to affect them in the road in life. So. We're just trying to create that program standard, and want to be competitive and be in every ball game and host some titles up.
Well, tell me this: as you go through the summer, is there one position group, one side of the ball, or people that either surprised you or have just taken a big step forward? I know there's a lot of things that probably got you excited, but the ones that you're like, hey, look what those guys are doing.
I would say just equally everywhere. I think the depth, one thing I was really excited with us having a little bit more, depth and more players is just the special teams. Our special teams is going to be a lot better this year. We've got some freshmen that I think can contribute, but we have some sophomores too that have some good skill sets. They maybe not be ready to play, 20 to 40 snaps on a Friday, but, they can go give you 10 snaps on special teams. So that's one thing we're excited about. We got a lot of bodies, some good athletes, guys that can fit those certain roles. And, that definitely is going to be a big emphasis for us. So that depth is vital and key for us, especially going into year 2. And just want to, like I said, have some progression on what we did last year.
This summer, have you seen offensive and defensively, where last year you were installing something new? This year now it's not quite as you're getting a little bit more work done in the summer than maybe you did. Not getting work done, but a little more progress done in the summer than maybe this summer than you did last.
Yeah, I think just in general, with how much we emphasize, having a good football IQ. It's giving the kids a year to understand, hey, what we expect from them, football wise. Mm-hmm. And I think we're pretty much doing a lot of the same stuff. I just say we're coaching it better, and I think that's the biggest part. Is we're going to continue to do the same stuff. We kind of understand what kind of kids we have in our district, and what they're capable of physically and mentally. Obviously, we want to push them in both those areas, but for what we have, we think we got a good structure offensively. We got good structure defensively as well. And it's really just about us getting to now the details of, okay, we understand what this call was, but now why are we calling this call? Or why are we calling this call instead of this call? And that's where the kids really kind of take ownership of the system, and now they can be able to give ideas and give feedback and be able to, play within the framework of our system, but also be able to have some freedom to make plays and don't be a straight line on the page, So It's been good. You know, been a lot of competition in a lot of areas. So, you know, we're looking forward to that continuing through fall camp.
How's your leadership been with your players?
It's been a lot better. Something we're still, you know, demanding every day is that player-led team. You know, at the end of the day, you know, we're not going to be out there with the helmets and shoulder pads on, you know, really, you know, making things go. So it's important that we have, you know, at least 2 or 3 guys on the field at a time. You know, one may be the vocal guy that get everyone going. One may be the guy that, hey, we need to calm down. The other guy may just be even keel, but you know, he shows up every day and he does his job, and people know, hey, when he moves, we all move. And you know, we need those different type of leaders to keep emerging, not only just for our football program, for our school in general. You know, I don't have a statistic on, but I'm willing to bet that, you know, if the football program is coming in the fall and the first part of school, and you know, they're not causing a ruckus and they're being positive influences, and we're winning some ball games on Friday and making it an enjoyable moment for everyone in the community, then you know, I think the school probably does pretty well more times than not throughout the rest of the year. So it's up to us to really set the standard for not only, you know, our program, what we want in the future as a football team, but just how we want our kids to be in general, you know, around the hallways in the community.
Yeah, no doubt. They always say football's the front door of your school, so that's
Yeah.
that's it. That's what you got. If you're good at football, it definitely changes the attitudes of everybody there. It starts the year off right. Well, Coach, good luck the rest of the way. I know you're getting ready to head out to practice. Enjoy this time, and we'll chat with you again soon.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Go Bears.